Something I really enjoy when I have to implement something new with Cursor is that you can at any time add and include a documentation from an API, for instance. So here, what I'm going to do, if I do docs, or actually inside here, so I'm in the agent mode at the moment. Of course, if you wish, you can be in the edit mode. So if you wonder if you should be on edit mode or agent mode, if the task that needs to be done is really complex or requires more thinking, well, agent mode can be better. If I go to Google here, agent vs edit mode, Cursor, you see, agent will think harder, use reasoning and tools to solve problems. And the edit mode is for single turn edit. And of course, the ask mode is much more to ask questions when you wonder why or how something works in the current file you are in, or if you don't know what your code does or anything like that. If you need help, the ask mode is better as well. So ask, edit, agent. In my case, I like agent. I could do edit to here. But here, more importantly, what I want to show you is the docs. So I will import my Brevo API reference. So basically, I have to deal with Brevo. Brevo, it's an API for mailing list. And I did import the API documentation. So what I can do in Cursor, I can go to settings. I can go to Cursor settings. And there, if I go to if I go to features, and there here, if I scroll down, I will see docs. And there I can update and add new documentation. I can also do that inside of the chat area where we are in, and I can do docs there, and then I can click here, add new doc, new documentation, and so it will fetch the new documentation to have a accurate result. Here I will update first the documentation for Brevo, so reindex. I will click there, it's very fast, it will turn to green really quickly. Now it's indexing, and then I will have the latest version. After that, it's downloading, and then I will just here ask, please ensure that the API, or here I will also include mailing list, the API implementation works correctly, and will add new user to the responding list. Alright, so I will just wait 2 minutes, and now I have my new URL, which is indexed. So this is the documentation from Brevo, and we are ready to submit our prompt, which is really exciting. So let's do it. And again, like Brevo and any other API would work really well with Cursor, because Cursor will know the latest documentation thanks to this, because it will fetch the doc and it will give accurate results from the prompt you ask to Cursor. So you will not have outdated references from an API that is not even supported by the library. No, everything will be the latest, as long as the documentation is updated, of course. And what Cursor did here, it reviewed my source code, and apparently everything is correct. So that's a good news. It went through everything. Here, I will just search that one. And yeah, so that's the auth service. It went in, and normally it should be mentioned. So it went, yeah, that's the auth service. you always have each reference of the chunk of code, and you can click there to view, read, and that's the line. So 300 to 400, we are there. And yeah, that's really good news. So it seems that it's all good. Any improvements or other things that might need to be added or changed for having the Brevo API work perfectly well? That's not the best prompt, but it's nice to challenge the AI model, and so it will rethink again. And so when we say, oh, can you please reevaluate the results you just gave now, it will quite often recorrect itself or give more accurate response. The first response is not always the best one, at least at the moment. Of course, in the future, it will certainly be improved. But for now, there are always things we can do to challenge better the AI, and so we get better response. And here we have some changes we could implement, of course. And we have a max retries. That's always something good to do. If you have been an engineer for, quite some time, or even maybe just a little time before AI, and you have been working in big source code, you have seen this. It's very common. It's a very common practice to have max retries when we call an API. It's a really good practice. So very likely you have seen this before, and it's a really good suggestion actually. So the other one is, we do cast into const. That's also a good practice. And then it's basically when you are working with TypeScript, and then after here, it adds a little bit. It changed the documentation, the JS doc, because now we have the retry logic, and that's a retry logic with a while loop. So yes, I would say why not, because we could also have that in a cron job. But why this is good? Let's imagine Brevo API doesn't respond for whatever reason, or it's down. We are unable to add a new user. And maybe if we try a new request, it will work. And this is what the retry does. And then here, it does the same with the retry inside of our mailing list service, where we use Brevo API. So we do accept all there. So yeah, you see, we have done a really good job. So I'm quite happy with that. And I will commit my changes. All of the div are located in the mailing list service. Lovely. So I will generate a commit message, which is this one. I will do commit. And now we have it, which is here. So well done. You have done an amazing job. I hope you liked this video, and happy AI coding.